The vast unknowable depths of interstellar space have always been a source of awe and intimidation. Throughout all of human history, we've lived with a lingering fear that something mysterious, maybe even dangerous, could suddenly emerge from that endless darkness. Or worse, something truly terrifying. Nearly every ancient civilization across the globe has passed down myths and legends about beings who descended from the heavens. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, gods who were said to have come down from a distant planet called Nibiru. The ancient Egyptians connected the star Sirius with Isis and Osiris, believing that sacred wisdom was delivered to them from that very point in the sky. The Maya told stories of a celestial serpent that descended from above, bringing humanity both knowledge and the gift of the calendar. And in Greek mythology, the Titans and the Olympian gods were often portrayed as cosmic visitors who came from far beyond to rule over the world of mortals. Hey there, and welcome! Today, we know without a doubt that our solar system isn't the only one out there. In just the stretch of space a few hundred light years from Earth, astronomers have already found thousands of exoplanets, and among them, dozens are believed to have the right conditions for life, maybe even intelligent life. So doesn't it seem reasonable to think that someday one of those civilizations might pay us a visit here in our tiny corner of the universe? But what if that someday wasn't some far-off future? What if it's already happening right now? At the moment, that possible event is being referred to by a dry and rather unremarkable name, 3I Atlas. But behind this bland designation hides something extraordinary, a true interstellar object that has come speeding into our solar system at over 152,000 miles per hour. Discovered by astronomers in July 2025, it has become only the third known visitor to arrive here from beyond the boundaries of our star's domain. Thanks for tuning into our channel. And no, this isn't the start of an alien invasion, at least not yet. But one thing is absolutely clear, this object did not come from around here. Curious to find out more? Then let's dive in and begin the story. The first interstellar object. Up until just a few years ago, the idea that our solar system might be open to visitors from the outside was something humanity hadn't even begun to imagine. For all of history, we assumed that comets and asteroids were locals, longtime residents of the cosmic backyard we call home. But everything changed in 2017. That year, astronomers spotted a tiny dot of light moving across the sky. Its trajectory was strange. It didn't look like anything that belonged to the solar system. The object was following a hyperbolic orbit, with an eccentricity measured at 1.2. Just for context, the eccentricity of a planet's orbit is usually around 0.01, and even for comets, it rarely goes beyond 0.9. So when the number goes above 1, it means the object isn't bound to the sun by gravity. In other words, it's not coming back, it's just passing through and then disappearing into the void. And that's how the world met its very first interstellar object, Oumuamua. Its name comes from Hawaiian, and it means the first messenger to arrive. Soon, scientists realized that Oumuamua had a truly bizarre shape. To some, it looked like an elongated space cigar, while others thought it resembled a flat, flattened disc. But what really stunned scientists wasn't the shape, it was the way it accelerated in a way no one could explain. Oumuamua moved as if something or someone was giving it a push. Some researchers speculated that this might be due to reactive force. Maybe, they thought, the object was venting gas as ice on its surface vaporized, giving it a bit of propulsion. But others proposed something much more provocative, that it might be a solar sail, and possibly even an artificial construct. The scientific community was suddenly alive with heated debate and wild speculation. But while the world of science argued, Oumuamua quietly slipped away, flying out of the solar system and vanishing into deep space. So, was it just a rare, oddly shaped piece of rock? Or was it some kind of express delivery, one that wasn't even meant for us? Then, 2 years later, in 2019, another visitor appeared, Comet Borisov. This time, it looked more familiar. It had a nucleus, a glowing coma of gas, and a tail of drifting dust. But just like Oumuamua, its orbit had an eccentricity greater than 1, which meant this comet too had come from far beyond, from the distant reaches of interstellar space. And once again, the same story unfolded. Borisov passed through the solar system and vanished along a path that we could no longer track. These two interstellar objects became landmark discoveries. For the very first time, we were sure of it. Our solar system isn't some sealed-off fortress, it's more like a busy crossroads on a galactic highway. And all kinds of strange travelers are racing along that road. They might be fragments of dramatic histories from other planets, or maybe something far more intriguing. And now, a third visitor has arrived. A brand new interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. But this one isn't anything like Oumuamua or Borisov. It's a brand new mystery, and it's only just starting to reveal itself. The new visitor, 3I Atlas. In July of 2025, the Atlas Automated Sky Survey System detected something highly unusual streaking across the heavens. At first, it was nothing more than a faint speck of light hidden among countless other dots in the night sky. But once scientists calculated its trajectory, it became clear this wasn't just another asteroid from our solar system, or a run-of-the-mill comet. Its orbit was hyperbolic, with an eccentricity greater than 6. That's several times higher than anything tightly bound by the Sun's gravity. Which could only mean one thing. This object came from the vastness of interstellar space, and it's on its way back out. And so, humanity encountered its third known interstellar visitor, a mysterious object labeled with the bland name 3I Atlas. But to really understand what makes this moment so important, we need to talk about what Atlas actually is. Atlas stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, an automated telescope network first installed in Hawaii and later expanded to Chile and South Africa. Its mission is simple but critical: to detect asteroids and comets that might pose a danger to Earth. Every night, the Atlas telescopes scan the entire visible sky in detail, capturing tens of thousands of images. Advanced algorithms automatically compare those photos, flagging anything that appears to move, which could mean an asteroid, a comet, or something else. And if the object is new, the system immediately alerts a global network of astronomers. It was this silent guardian in the sky that first spotted an interstellar intruder breaching the boundaries of our solar system. Its speed is almost beyond comprehension, roughly 152,000 miles per hour. If 3I Atlas passed near Earth, it would cover the distance from the Moon to our planet in just under 2 hours. It's nothing less than an express train tearing through the heart of the solar system. And the size of this thing is just as astonishing. Early estimates put its diameter at about 12 miles. That makes it comparable to some of the largest comets ever observed, and even bigger than the asteroids that once reshaped Earth's history. Fortunately, 3I Atlas poses no direct threat to our planet. Its path will take it far from Earth, passing on the opposite side of the Sun. It's traveling on an extremely stretched hyperbolic orbit through the inner solar system, and astronomers have already charted its route in great detail. When it was first discovered, it was about 420 million miles from the Sun, roughly 4.5 astronomical units, and had entered the solar system between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Its closest approach to the Sun, or perihelion, will be at 1.36 AU. That's right between Earth and Mars. It'll reach that point somewhere between October 29th and 30th, 2025. Just weeks before that, on October 3rd, it'll come as close as 18 million miles to Mars. Then, by November 3rd, it'll pass within 60 million miles of Venus, and on December 19th, it's expected to be about 170 million miles from Earth. That's nearly 700 times farther than the distance from the Earth to the Moon. And in March 2026, 3I Atlas will sweep past Jupiter at a distance of about 33 million miles. After that, it'll begin accelerating away from us. Soon, it will vanish into the darkness of interstellar space, never to return. So, where is it right now? As of August 2025, 3i Atlas is positioned in the direction of the Scorpius constellation between Mars and Jupiter. Each day, it's drawing closer and closer to the Sun. That's why astronomers around the globe are keeping such a close and watchful eye on it. Why we need visitors like these. Why are astronomers so determined to track every interstellar object that passes by? The answer is simple, because each one is a message from another world. These cosmic travelers all carry material that was formed in planetary systems orbiting other stars, far beyond our own. We can't send spacecraft to those distant exoplanets. They're just too far away. But every now and then, the universe itself tosses us a gift. Every tiny rock, every single speck of dust carried by these visitors contains traces of another planet's past. Studying them is like conducting an archaeological dig across the galaxy. That was exactly the case with Comet Borisov. When scientists analyzed the gases in its outer layers, they found cyanide gas and other volatile compounds, the same kinds we see in comets from our own Oort cloud. That discovery caused quite a stir. It showed us that the chemistry of the cosmos is astonishingly uniform. No matter where a planetary system forms, it seems to produce the same kinds of molecules. Oumuamua, on the other hand, left the scientific community puzzled. Its unexplained acceleration, something gravity alone couldn't account for, gave rise to dozens of theories, from reactive outgassing to solar sails. In the end, the more far-fetched ideas like alien spacecraft were ruled out. But the fierce debate revealed something important. We still know almost nothing about objects that come to us from beyond the stars. 3i Atlas offers us a new opportunity. It's large enough to be observed clearly with many kinds of instruments. It's bright enough for us to collect its spectrum and begin analyzing its chemical makeup. And best of all, we've discovered it long before it reached its closest point to the Sun, giving scientists months of precious preparation time. Unlike Oumuamua, which was only spotted after it had already passed the Sun, this time humanity has a head start like never before. Every spectrum, every photon captured by our telescopes could hold a key to unlocking secrets from another world. And through 3i Atlas, we might finally begin to understand how planets form around other stars, and whether we're a one-of-a-kind miracle or just one more ordinary part of a vast and crowded universe. Debate and controversy. In the world of science, there are times when the ideas being proposed feel less like rigorous calculations and more like challenges thrown straight at our imagination. And that's exactly what's happened with 3i Atlas. Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard University, the same researcher who once proposed a bold theory about Oumuamua, has come forward with another striking idea. He suggests that this new interstellar object might not be a natural body at all, but possibly some kind of spacecraft built with advanced technology. In his paper, he draws attention to a few strange coincidences. One of the most notable involves what's called the ecliptic plane. That's the imaginary flat surface along which Earth orbits the Sun, and most planets travel close to it, almost like cars cruising along the same highway. But interstellar objects, coming from the deep void, should have orbits tilted at random angles. And yet, the orbit of 3i Atlas lines up almost perfectly with the ecliptic. According to Professor Loeb, the odds of that happening by chance are just about 0.2%. On top of that, this object will pass near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, one after the other. For those who support the hypothesis, the trajectory almost feels intentional, like it was carefully chosen to tour our solar neighborhood. The chance of this orbital pattern being a coincidence? An even smaller 0.005%. Its closest approach to the Sun is set to happen between late October and early November. That timing places Earth on the opposite side of the Sun, making observation much more difficult, and some would say, creating ideal conditions to move through the shadows. Of course, the majority of scientists reject these kind of claims. Observations have shown signs of typical comet activity, and most experts agree that 3i Atlas is nothing more than an ordinary interstellar object. Dr. Chris Lintott of Oxford University went so far as to call Loeb's comments nonsense on stilts and accused him of insulting what he described as a thrilling scientific process. Even Professor Loeb himself admits that the likeliest explanation is still a natural origin, but he maintains that openly discussing all possible hypotheses is a valuable form of intellectual training. A message from the galaxy. The object at the center of all this debate will soon pass its closest point to the Sun and begin its exit from the solar system. That short observation window, just a few months long, carries a deep symbolic weight. It feels as if we've just received a letter, sent to us from the farthest reaches of the Milky Way. A letter with no words, written in stone and ice. And if we can learn to read that silent message, it could tell us stories about other stars, distant planets, and the beginnings of completely different histories. Oumuamua, Comet Borisov, and now 3I Atlas, 3 interstellar objects have visited us in just 8 years. And yet, Sirius' efforts to search for these travelers only began in 2017, not long ago at all. We believe many more interstellar objects are drifting through the cosmos, and one by one, they'll pass through our corner of space. And maybe one of them will be something truly extraordinary. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take care and goodbye.